Hello, my name is Dr. Martyn Stewart. I'm the Director of Graduate Studies here at Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine. So just wanted to introduce you to how we'll be delivering this next academic year. So I hope you'll be joining us, and just want to give you an overview of what you'd expect in terms of the teaching experience for the first, second and third of the semesters. So our general approach to how we'll teach is we'll try to make the experience this next academic year as normal as it would have been prior to the COVID restrictions, but we need to follow the government and local authority advice, and that's where we take our lead. So we don't have our own institutional guidelines or restrictions. We just follow the main local authority guidance. We value the on-campus learning experience. It's a much better experience for you. It's actually easier for us as well because it's a much nicer teaching experience for the staff. We get to engage with you, and that's what we want to do. It's a more efficient way of teaching as well for us. So as far as we can, we'll bring everybody on site, and it will be as close to the experience that we would have had without the COVID experience. The main difference is that we do have to plan for social distancing to be in place, and mask wearing if that's the prevailing guidance. So the main issue really is the social distancing, because that does limit how many people we can fit in a room. So that has the biggest impact on the timetable and the experience you'll have. Particularly where it's a larger class or a larger module. So what we do for the larger modules is we bring more staff in. So a lot of the on-campus days are practical work, laboratory work, discussion seminars. So we just use more staff and spread people across more rooms. And previously, if you'd have come here before COVID, typically a teaching day would have been Monday morning, you might have been in, and then 3 in the afternoon, and Tuesday might have been 3 in the morning and in on the afternoon. The same Wednesday and Thursday, so typically half a day a week. To manage the social distancing, what we've moved towards is a model where we pull together all of the on-campus days, on-campus sessions onto the same days. So we have, say, a day when you're not on campus, and then a full day when you're on campus, as opposed to different half days. So in terms of the amount of time you'd be on campus, it's very similar to as it would have been prior to the limitations of COVID. It's just that we structure the week slightly differently to work around the social distancing, room capacity issues. So typically you'll be alternating a 4-day on-site with a day which may have some online sessions, or may just be free reading time. If the national rules relax, then we'll change restrictions as and when suits. So for smaller modules where we can fit everyone in the same room, it will just be fully on campus. Obviously, if there's another lockdown happens, then we'll have to shift online. But we do have the benefit of a year's experience doing this now, so you'll be benefiting from that, because we took lots of surveys all the way through last year to work out how to optimise the experience for students. So typically what your timetable will look like will depend on which semester. So semester 1 comprises 2 30-credit modules, which are 12-week long. So the long, thin modules, and 2 of them run in parallel. So on the Monday and the Tuesday, you'd have research methods. Then there's 2 different research methods module, depending on which program you're on. The Wednesday and the Thursday, you'll have a module that's specific to your program. And then on the Friday, it will be half the day will be research methods, half the day your other module. So typically what that week might look like is the Monday may be set aside as the off-site day. So this may have some online activity. It could be a pre-recorded lecture, it could be a live lecture, or it could be a group work task set up through Microsoft Teams. or it could just be set aside for free study, reading. So it would depend, and that will probably vary week on week. So the Monday will probably be an off-site day, and that will be, if there is activity, that's usually set in the morning. And then the Tuesday will bring you on site, and we'll bring you on site for the whole day. And that's where we'll focus on the more practical work, practical workshops, seminars, group work, and computer workshops. The Wednesday and the Thursday will be your other module, your program-specific module. And again, that will follow a similar format as I've just described for the research methods module. It may be that the on-site day is the Wednesday and the off-site day is the Thursday. So that will depend on each module. And then the Friday will be a mix of the mornings or the afternoons will be research methods module, and the other, depending on which module, will be your subjects module. But we'll try and coordinate this, so if you want to be on site, both the modules will bring you on site the same day, and if it's an off-site day, we'll try and coordinate so you're not having to travel in between activities halfway through. So as you can see, that's typically the pattern, sort of off-site, fully on-site, off-site, fully on-site. And in terms of the proportion of on-campus time, it's the same as before, it's just structured in a different way, that's all. Semester 2, slightly different structure. We have short fact modules here, so you're not doing 2 modules simultaneously, you will just be focused on 1 module at a time. Depending on whether it's a 10 credit module or a 20 credit module, will depend on whether it's a 2-week or a 4-week module. Most of these are optional, so this is where a lot of your choices come into play. And then, so semester 2 involves 3 blocks, and a block can comprise a 20 credit 4-week module or 2 10 credit 2-week modules. And in terms of the teaching week there, because each week or each 4-week block or 2-week block you'll only be doing 1 module, it's a bit more flexible in terms of the how that will be delivered online and on site. But we'll carry on the same sort of pattern with an on-site day and an online day, or a free study day. Although the sequencing of that won't be as regular as in the first semester, because it's, we're not having to manage things between 2 modules. So for example, it could be 1 week you might be on campus for 4 days because you've got some lab work or some activity that involves a sequence of 4 days, and then you may have a bit more free study time the following week to balance that up. And so the same general pattern, although the way it's structured will be a bit more irregular depending on what the specific needs and scheduling requirements are for that module. So I hope that gives you an overview or flavour of what the teaching experience will be, but I will emphasise that we taught as much as we could on campus last year. The staff want to teach and want to work with you, see you face to face. It's more enjoyable for us, it's more enjoyable for you. And we value that sort of contact and engagement, and that's what we want your experience here to be, an engaged experience working with some of the key experts in their field. So I hope you join us, and if you do, we look forward to seeing you in September.